Hello and welcome to The Voice. My name is Joseph Salama, I'm an editor, and I'm here with Desiree Hanssen, running for Director of Community Relations on the Huskies United ticket. Thank you for taking some time off Saturday afternoon to come and speak with us.
Yes, no problem. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, excellent. With that, let's just launch right into it. Our first question is, how will you work with Senate to ensure Senate resolutions are followed up in your constituencies?
Coming from a Senate background, I've been a senator for a year and a half now and a committee chair ever since 2010. And I feel Senate is a very important body we have in the ASUW, producing the student opinion, so it's really necessary to make sure that Senate resolutions are followed up on. So as the Director of Community Relations, if elected next year, I would work alongside Senate leadership, not only the chair, the vice chair, membership, but also the committee chairs, to make sure that these resolutions are passed on to the necessary communities to make sure that whatever is stated in the resolution is followed up on. Also, when the resolutions are sent to the specific community, working alongside the leadership in that community to make sure they understand what was asked of them, what the student opinion said, to make sure that everything is followed up on, as I've said. Yeah. In the future, to double check to make sure that everything has been completed. As actually, I was the committee chair of the Oversight Committee, and one of the big things, the goals of Oversight Committee, is to follow up on every piece of legislation to make sure that everything was completed, even back to like the 12th session. Make sure it's good to go. So working alongside the Oversight Committee chair to have everything in state. So
yeah, absolutely. So the second question we have for you is more specific to your work within the multiple constituencies that you liaison to for the board. What communities do you think are most alienated from ASUW, and how you will reach out to these communities?
In a way, I feel like all communities are in some sort alienated from us. We're a big campus. We have over 40,000 students, a lot of different communities. The Director of Community Relations would be a liaison to the Greek community, RHSA, and even commuters, and many more, RSOs, etc. So I'm going to admit it, it's difficult to reach out to all communities. But I'm willing to work alongside the leadership in each community to make sure that whatever is necessary to be done in that community is followed up on, as well as I feel like if we connected communities together through co-programming, working alongside the Director of Programming to have events for everybody to participate in. And I feel one of the most difficult communities to get in touch with are commuters. We have a lot of commuters here at the University of Washington. A lot of people live off campus and commute every day to the campus. So a goal for mine is to connect with that community through not only orientation and dog days, but to also open up the doors, get them involved in Senate, get them a constituency as a commuter constituency, as well as let them know that they have more resources on campus. If they don't want to get involved in Senate or an RSO, let them know about their major and how they can get in contact with people that will provide them with information, making sure they feel like they're a part of the campus. I want to make sure that people have an experience at the University of Washington. And you're not going to get the experience if you don't meet people or you don't know how to meet people. So confounding relationships amongst commuters, maybe setting a designated area for them to, I know right now by George is where a lot of commuters go, but because the hub has recently been closed, we need another area for commuters to come, not only meet other commuters, but people that live on campus too.
Yeah, absolutely. How are you going to address the issue of safety, both on and off campus, if elected?
Okay. The Director of Community Relations would be the chair of the Committee on Student Safety and would work alongside the UW PD. Recently, I got in contact with UW PD, and I'm hoping to do a ride-along program with them just to check out the streets north of 45th, but also different crime areas near the residence halls or different areas on campus. So next year I would hopefully work alongside with them and do mini audits of campus. Audits would be safety audits, as they're called. You go around campus and you target the most dangerous areas or the most unlit areas that a possible crime could occur. Mark them and then make sure that UW PD or whomever is on site knows about these areas, and that we put more blue lights, maybe emergency lights near that place. Also, just recently, I went to a Green Dot program and got officially registered as a Green Dot member, and I really want to work alongside the director of programming and Green Dot to put on a program that'll spread awareness of power-based personal violence on and off campus and other pressing issues. I really want to make sure that everybody knows what's going on, if there's any safety issues, any other issues, so just awareness in general.
This kind of speaks to the historical perspective of this position in its constituencies, but many people have complained this position is rarely present, or could even be replaced with a short email. That the CR will show up to it's a constituency. It will be asked. The individual will be asked to speak. Will say 2 sentences and leave. All this, and despite year after year of candidates promising they'll have that personal connection. What experiences do you have to support your promise to be personally engaged with your constituencies?
Okay. 2 of the things I really want to work on this year are being both visible and reliable. Visible meaning not only going to each constituency's meetings, going to as many hall council meetings as possible, meetings with IFC, Pan-Hellenic, or other RSOs, and Senate, but also making sure you attend their events, showing support. I think showing support and building relationships with each constituency will have the best results. I feel like an organization can't run if there's no relationships amongst the entities. So one of my goals this year is to get to know the leadership, or the people that hold the leadership roles, connect with them, be friends with them, let them know I'm here for them, and if they need anything, they can come to me, but more importantly, I will be there for them. I will be visible, reliable, making sure I follow up on everything and anything they need, doing that. I feel with Director of Community Relations, I have a really good, if elected, I'd have a really good benefit this year because of the Director of Communications. They're going to deal with a lot of the technology and the contacting the groups through the internet. I'm going to be the one that's out in the public, the one working on issues specific to each community. I'm not going to be in my office behind a desk typing away all day. That's definitely not what it's going to be. I'm going to be out on campus supporting each community and making sure I'm there to help them out.
Please discuss a method or 2 you would use to ensure that ACW is reaching out to as many communities as you seek the liaison with.
Okay, could I just start over the question?
Yeah, well, okay. Well, let's start it over. So, breathe, and then we'll do another clap just to connect the 2. So, no worries, no worries. Desiree Hanssen, take 1, maybe? Yeah. So going back to what we were saying, please discuss a method or 2 you would use to ensure that ACW is reaching out to the many communities you seek to liaison with.
Okay, so back to what I mentioned in the earlier question. Being visible is one of the key things to this position. 2 parts to being visible is, number 1, attending as many meetings as possible, showing up, having your face always be in the public, but also not just attending meetings for your entities, but going to their events, showing support, building relationships, so that you can have a stronger organization as a whole. And that's exactly what the ACW needs. We're going through tough times right now, budget cuts. We all need to come together for things like this. And I feel if we're all united, I know it sounds cheesy, but if we're all united for the same purpose, we can get going on a really good track. The other part, another method I would have, is working with the Director of Programming and A&E to put on events that are co-programming, connecting with other RSOs, such as the event I proposed earlier, working with the Director of Programming and Green Dot to put on an event that'll spread awareness of power-based personal violence. I feel like if we team up with other RSOs, another, like core or Annie, etc., we can have a really strong program going on. So definitely co-programming, reaching out to as many communities on campus through different advertisements like Facebook, e-media. The director of communications would work on that, but I'd work alongside that position.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all we have time for, but on behalf of the writers and the editors, I just wanted to thank you for taking some time off a Saturday afternoon to come back to Condon. It's good to hear the candidates speak for themselves in a venue like this.